Hello friends. So today I want to just talk about downward facing dog. I know there's a lot of confusion that sometimes comes around downward facing dog. One things I really want to talk about when discussing downward dog and internal versus external rotation is that if you look at the elbow joint, the hinge of the elbow, right? And you'll see mine, I have pretty deep angles here. My hands are pretty lateral to my body compared to men's elbow joints. So I have my anatomy here from a man's body, as most anatomy that you'll see is for men. This is why I'm a women's wellness teacher, because the fact that there is such an important difference. So if you look at the hinge of that elbow joint on this male body, right, you'll see the line of that elbow. That line of that elbow is not that deep of an angle. So men have much straighter elbow joints than women do. So with that being said, that's something to think about. So what I would like to invite you to try, if you are a woman, to have your middle fingers parallel to each other. So what that does is it creates a little more internal rotation. For men, I like to suggest that their index fingers are parallel. So see, my hands are wrapping out, which means more external rotation. Okay, so this is so subtle. And as teachers, it's really not something we talk a lot about, because when we're in a flow class, it's just about moving. We don't really necessarily talk about these nitty gritty things. So this is what's so great about being super into anatomy, and especially for me as a women's anatomy teacher. I just want to invite you to try, as a woman, to do more internal rotation in your downward dog. Also, downward dog, making sure that you're using the wrapping of the shoulder blades and not the squeeze of your trapezius in the upper fibers. We want to keep the space around the neck really free. And so here's an example. In downward dog, you might notice people start to tense around the neck. And you'll see them get tight around the neck because they're just trying to muster and muscle through this push of the hands. So instead, try to pull away from the neck and wrap your shoulder blades around and forward, which are more of a lateral rotation. So if you see, I have more space around my neck, and then I'm able to create more extension through my spine. Okay? So avoiding this tensing around the neck, space around the neck, and wrap the shoulder blades around your armpits and forward. And that's your lateral rotation of your shoulder blades. Because your shoulder blades do need to move up into elevation. So if you notice your teachers say pull your shoulders away from your ears in downward dog, that is actually incorrect. It's not your shoulders, it's the neck, it's the trapezius. So there's a big difference between your shoulders and your trapezius. I'm going to show you the anatomy one more time, so that helps kind of simmer this in. So if you see here, we've got shoulders, and then we've got trapezius. This needs to activate in your downward dog. This needs to relax, okay? And if you cannot get that to relax, I really recommend that you foam roll or use tune-up balls right there before your practice, so you're not tensing areas that you don't need to tense. Hope this was helpful. Please feel free to leave comments on my Instagram or DM me any questions that you have. I love to teach anatomy, and I hope this was informative. Thank you so much.